All right, so get ready because today we are going to take a deep dive into HubSpot.
Hubspot.
Specifically, HubSpot's marketing automation platform.
Yeah.
Now, you're probably like me, a busy entrepreneur,
Yeah.
small business owner,
Right.
and
Well,
marketing can feel
It never
a
ends.
never-ending to-do list.
It really does.
So we're here to figure out if HubSpot can really be that secret weapon that everyone's talking about.
Well, and it's not just about the features or the bells and whistles.
Right.
We're going to explore how to actually implement this platform
Yes.
strategically so you can see a real return on your investment.
Okay, so full disclosure, I've been that person drowning in spreadsheets trying to make sense of 5 different marketing tools
Oh, yeah.
at once. And it is a recipe for late nights and not much else.
Well, and that's one of the big problems that HubSpot aims to solve.
Right?
It's really positioned as a business solution, not just another piece of software.
Okay.
Think of it as a central hub where you can manage everything. Your website, your emails, your social media, even your customer relationship management.
That sounds amazing, but can you give me a concrete example of how this saves me time and, more importantly, money?
Sure, imagine you're spending 2 hours every week just sending follow-up emails to potential clients.
Okay.
HubSpot can automate that entire process,
Wow.
freeing up 104 hours a year
104 hours.
that you can then dedicate to refining your strategy or
Yeah.
connecting with clients on a deeper level.
That's like finding an extra week in your year.
It is.
But HubSpot can get pricey. How do I know it's not just another drain on my resources?
That's where understanding its scalability comes in.
Okay.
They offer different service packages that can grow with your business. Plus, they have a ton of add-on integrations and an expandable feature set, so you're not locked into something that doesn't fit your needs down the line.
Okay, so it's adaptable,
Very.
which is crucial when you're growing a business.
For sure.
But I'm also a bit wary of all the hype around marketing automation. Can we really set it and forget it?
You know, not quite.
Okay.
This is where a lot of people, I think, stumble.
Right.
You can't just dive headfirst into the software and expect magic.
Okay.
The real work starts before you even log into HubSpot for the first time.
So it's all about strategy.
Absolutely.
What's the first step on this pre-implementation roadmap?
Well, it all comes down to goals.
Goals.
Think about this. What do you want to achieve with HubSpot? Is it boosting website traffic? Maybe it's generating more qualified leads, or finally understanding which marketing activities are actually bringing in sales.
So it's not enough to say, I want more leads.
No.
We need to be way more specific.
Need to get smart, superable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound.
Okay.
So instead of just more leads, maybe your goal is to increase website leads by 15% in the next quarter.
Okay.
You can actually track that and see if HubSpot is living up to the hype.
Love that.
Yeah.
Smart goals keep you focused.
Absolutely.
What's next on this pre-HubSpot to-do list?
Data.
Yeah.
Think of it as spring cleaning your digital closet.
Ooh.
You need to do a thorough audit of all your customer data.
Okay.
Are there duplicate contacts? Outdated information? We need to make sure you're starting with a clean and accurate database.
You're right. If we start with bad data, even the most sophisticated platform won't help.
Exactly. And this data cleanup isn't just about contact lists.
Okay.
Think about any other platforms you're using.
Okay.
Your CRM, maybe Shopify or Eventbrite for event management. We want to make sure all that information integrates smoothly with HubSpot.
That's a good point, especially if you're like me and have data scattered all over the place.
Yeah.
It seems like getting your data organized is the foundation of this whole process.
Absolutely.
What about my team? What do they need to know before we jump into HubSpot?
That's a crucial point.
Okay.
Your team needs to be prepared for this shift.
Okay.
Think about internal training sessions. Who's going to be creating email templates, generating those reports we talked about? And let's not forget about setting up clear roles and permissions within HubSpot. This way, everyone knows what they're responsible for, and we avoid any accidental mishaps.
That's key, especially for a small team where everyone's wearing multiple hats.
Absolutely.
So we've covered our goals, cleaned up our data,
We have.
and gotten the team prepped.
We are ready.
Feels like we're building some serious momentum here.
We are.
And with all this prep work done, we're finally ready to get into the nuts and bolts of HubSpot.
Yes.
This is where it gets exciting.
It does.
All right, let's dive into the actual setup.
Okay.
Where do we even begin?
First things first, you'll want to tackle domain verification.
Domain verification.
This basically connects your business domain to HubSpot, so everything looks consistent.
Okay.
Think landing pages, emails, forms, all with your professional branding.
That's important. I
Yeah.
don't want people landing on a page that looks completely different from my website. It's all about a unified experience.
It is.
Exactly. And while we're on the subject of professionalism,
Yes.
let's not forget about security.
Right.
We're going to make sure your website has an SSL certificate.
Yeah.
This encrypts data between your site and visitors,
Important.
builds trust, and is great for SEO.
Absolutely.
Okay, domain security, all checked.
We're good.
But with a team, we need to make sure everyone has the right level of access.
Uh-huh.
What about those user permissions you mentioned earlier?
That's right. It's all about control.
Okay.
You can assign different roles,
Huh?
admin, marketing, sales, and more.
Mm-hmm.
This way, everyone only sees what's relevant to their job,
Makes sense.
keeping things organized and preventing any accidental deletions or changes.
So we've got our domain connected,
Yep.
security in place,
Good.
and the right access for everyone.
We're in good shape.
What's next on the list?
Now it's time to connect the dots between your marketing and sales efforts.
Okay.
We're going to dive into CRM integration,
TRM and...
the heart of what makes HubSpot so powerful.
Okay, I've heard CRM integration is a game changer, but I'm still a bit fuzzy on how it works in practice.
Sure.
Can you walk me through a real-world example?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's say you're currently using Salesforce as your CRM.
Okay.
Instead of having your sales team live in one platform and your marketing team in another,
Yeah.
HubSpot can integrate with Salesforce. This means every interaction a lead has, from downloading an ebook to opening an email, gets logged in both systems.
So no more trying to piece together information from different sources.
That's right.
It's all there in one central hub.
You got it.
That's a serious time saver.
Big time.
Exactly. But hold on.
Yeah.
There's a bit more to it than just flipping a switch.
There is.
We need to make sure all the information is flowing correctly.
We do.
I'm all ears.
Okay.
Walk me through it.
So think about the essential information you have in your current CRM.
Okay.
Things like contact names, email addresses, company names. We need to map those fields to the corresponding fields in HubSpot.
So it's like making sure everyone's speaking the same language.
It is.
If we don't map those fields correctly, things could get messy.
They could,
You got it.
for sure.
And trust me, it's better to take the time to get this right from the beginning than to try and untangle a data mess later on.
Yeah, better.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
What's next?
Now that our data is clean and connected, let's talk about the fun stuff.
Okay,
Automation.
here we go.
We're finally ready to unlock the power of HubSpot workflows.
Now, I know workflows can automate a lot of tasks, but I'm also a little intimidated by the whole setup.
I understand.
Is it really as complicated as it sounds?
Not at all.
Okay.
Let's break it down.
Okay.
Workflows are essentially a set of instructions you create to trigger specific actions based on a lead's behavior.
Okay, so instead of manually sending emails or following up with every lead, we can automate those tasks based on certain rules.
Exactly.
Okay.
For example, let's say someone visits your pricing page. You can set up a workflow to automatically send them a follow-up email with case studies or testimonials highlighting the value of your product.
That's a brilliant way to keep people engaged and moving through the sales funnel.
Right.
I like that.
And there are so many possibilities.
Yeah.
We can create workflows for welcoming new subscribers, recovering abandoned carts, nurturing leads over time.
Oh, wow.
The list goes on.
It's like having a digital marketing assistant working 24/7.
That's the idea.
I love that.
But don't worry, we'll cover specific workflow types and best practices in detail later on.
Okay.
For now, just know that this is where HubSpot truly shines.
All right, we're getting into the good stuff.
We are.
I'm eager to hear more about these specific workflow types.
We'll get there.
What else is there to discover in the world of HubSpot automation?
Well, next we need to talk about the actual content that fuels these workflows.
Okay. Content.
This is where HubSpot's Design Suite comes in.
How does HubSpot help us create the forms, landing pages, and email templates that will bring in those leads?
Well, HubSpot's Design Suite is incredibly user-friendly.
Okay.
It allows you to create professional-looking content without needing any coding skills.
Okay.
We're talking customizable forms, pre-built landing page templates, and a whole library of email templates that can be tailored to your brand.
This sounds like a dream come true for someone like me who's not exactly a design whiz.
I hear that a lot.
Exactly.
And we'll dive deeper into each of these content types, sharing best practices and tips for creating content that converts.
All right, this is getting good.
It is.
So we've got the foundation with our setup and CRM integration.
Yes.
The automation power of workflows.
So,
and the tools to create amazing content.
that's right.
I'm feeling a lot more confident about tackling HubSpot.
That's great to hear. But before we get too excited,
Okay.
let's make sure we're setting ourselves up for long-term success.
Okay.
There's more to HubSpot than just features and tools.
Okay.
We need to talk about the strategies and best practices that make it all work.
Strategies and best practices.
That's coming up next.
Okay. I'm ready to go beyond the basics.
All right.
What are the key strategies that will really make HubSpot work for me?
Well, one of the biggest mistakes I see is treating your audience like a homogeneous blob.
Right.
You can't just send the same message to everyone and expect amazing results.
Okay.
That's where segmentation and personalization come in.
I get it. It's like those generic marketing emails that end up in my spam folder.
Exactly.
No one wants to feel like they're just a number.
Nobody.
Exactly.
And luckily, HubSpot gives you the tools to avoid that.
Okay.
You could use what's called dynamic lists.
Dynamic list.
These automatically group your contacts based on things like their industry, their location, or even how they've interacted with your website in the past.
So instead of sending a mass email about my new product to everyone, I can tailor it to specific groups who are actually interested.
Precisely, and it goes even deeper.
Okay.
HubSpot allows you to use smart content,
Smart content.
which basically means you can display different versions of your website or emails depending on who's looking at them.
Hold on. So if I have a website visitor from the tech industry and another from healthcare, they could see completely different content, even if they're on the same page.
That's the power of it.
Wow.
This personalization makes your message way more relevant.
Yeah.
And believe me, it makes a huge difference in how people respond.
I'm starting to see how this all fits together.
Good.
You segment your audience,
Yeah.
personalize the message, but then how do you actually guide those leads through the sales funnel?
This is where lead nurturing comes in.
Lead nurturing.
It's all about building relationships, providing valuable information at each stage of the buyer's journey, and gently nudging them towards a purchase.
So it's less about the hard sell and more about building trust and establishing yourself as a helpful resource.
You nailed it.
I like it.
One way to do this is with what's called a drip campaign.
Drip campaign.
Think of it as a sequence of automated emails that are delivered over time. You might start with top-of-funnel content, like educational blog posts or white papers, and then gradually introduce more product-specific information as the lead shows more interest.
This is making a lot of sense. You're essentially providing the right information at the right time to keep those leads engaged and moving forward.
Right, and timing is key here.
Okay.
For example, if someone downloads an ebook about social media marketing, you wouldn't immediately hit them with a sales pitch for your most expensive package.
Right.
Instead, you might follow up with a case study showcasing how a similar business used your social media tools to achieve great results.
Okay. I see how that's way more effective.
Much more.
But what about those leads who go quiet?
Yeah,
Do we just let them slip away?
not at all.
Okay.
You can set up automated reminders or send additional information that might re-spark their interest.
Okay.
Think of it as a safety net to make sure no lead falls through the cracks.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
So we're personalizing the experience,
Uh-huh.
nurturing leads through the funnel, and keeping them engaged with timely follow-ups.
Yes.
This is starting to feel like a well-oiled marketing machine.
It is, and the beauty of it is that HubSpot allows you to do all of this while still maintaining a human touch.
Okay, this is all sounding pretty impressive,
Good.
but I'm also a data geek.
Okay.
How do I actually know what's working?
Yeah.
Can HubSpot really show me the ROI of all these efforts?
That's one of the best parts.
Okay.
HubSpot's analytics are incredibly robust. We're talking detailed campaign reports, website traffic analysis, email open and click-through rates.
Wow.
You can even see which specific blog posts or landing pages are driving the most conversions.
So no more guessing games?
No more.
I can actually see what's resonating with my audience and make data-driven decisions about my marketing strategy. That's a game changer.
It is.
Absolutely.
And remember those goals we set earlier.
Uh-huh.
This data will help you track your progress and see if you're on track to hit those targets.
This is all making me feel a lot more confident about using HubSpot. But even with the best data and analytics, there's always room for improvement, right?
Always.
How do we take things to the next level?
You're right. It's all about continuous optimization.
Okay.
And one of the most powerful tools for that is A/B testing.
Oh, I've heard that term thrown around a lot.
I bet.
But honestly, I'm not quite sure how it works.
Sure.
Can you break it down for me?
It's surprisingly simple.
Okay.
Let's say you're sending out an email newsletter.
Okay.
With A/B testing, you create two slightly different versions of the email.
Okay.
Maybe you change the subject line or the call to action.
Okay.
You send each version to a portion of your audience, and then HubSpot tracks which one performs better.
So it's like a science experiment to see which approach resonates best with my audience.
It is.
And I can A/B test anything right.
Pretty much.
Emails, landing pages,
Yep.
even my website copy.
You can test headlines, images, button colors, different layouts.
Okay.
The possibilities are endless.
And
And the beauty of it is that you're making decisions based on data, not just your gut feeling.
that takes a lot of the guesswork out of marketing.
It does.
But with all these tools and features,
Yeah.
it's easy to get overwhelmed.
Sure.
Any advice for staying focused and making sure I'm not just chasing shiny objects?
You've hit on a crucial point.
Okay.
Implementing HubSpot is just the first step
Right.
to truly unlock its potential. You need to think long-term.
Long
We're
term.
talking ongoing optimization and scaling.
So it's not a set it and forget it kind of thing.
It's not.
It's about constantly learning, tweaking, and growing alongside the platform.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Regularly audit your HubSpot account, dive into those performance metrics, and explore new features as they roll out.
Yeah.
And most importantly, make sure you and your team are staying up to date with the latest best practices.
Okay, that makes sense. I'm starting to see how HubSpot can be more than just a marketing tool. It's a whole way of thinking about how to attract, engage, and convert customers.
Exactly. But before we wrap up this part of our deep dive,
Okay.
I want to address something many people overlook.
Okay.
Common pitfalls to watch out for.
A good point.
Yeah.
It's all well and good to talk about the benefits, but what are the potential downsides I need to be aware of?
Well, one of the biggest traps is over-automating.
Over-automating.
It's tempting to automate everything, but remember, your audience wants to connect with real people, not robots.
So it's a balancing act.
It is.
How do I know when to automate and when to keep things more personal?
It really depends on your business and your audience.
Okay.
But a good rule of thumb is to automate repetitive tasks and use those extra hours you gain to personalize your communications where it matters most.
That makes sense. What other pitfalls should I watch out for?
Data hygiene.
Data hygiene.
We talked about cleaning up your data before you even start with HubSpot.
Right.
But maintaining a clean database is an ongoing process.
Okay.
You need to regularly check their duplicates, update outdated information, and make sure everything is accurate.
So it's not just a one-time spring cleaning. It's about making data maintenance a regular habit.
Right. And HubSpot has tools to help you with this,
Okay.
like deduplication features and automated data validation.
That's reassuring. Anything else?
One more thing.
Okay.
Don't underestimate the importance of continuous training.
Training.
HubSpot is constantly evolving with new features and updates rolling out all the time.
So I need to make sure my team stays in the loop and keeps their skills sharp.
Exactly. Knowledge sharing is key here.
Okay.
Encourage your team to attend webinars, explore HubSpot's learning resources, and even get certified in specific areas.
Okay, this has been incredibly helpful. I'm starting to see HubSpot not just as a platform, but as an ongoing journey of learning and optimization.
That's a great way to put it.
I like that.
And remember, we're here to guide you every step of the way. Now, let's wrap up our deep dive by exploring some advanced tactics and best practices that will really take your HubSpot game to the next level.
Advanced tactics and best practices.
That's right.
All right, bring on those advanced tactics. I'm ready to unlock the full potential of HubSpot.
I'm excited to share them. Now, remember those dynamic lists we talked about?
Yes.
They're powerful, but to really take them to the next level, let's explore behavioral triggers.
Okay, behavioral triggers. I'm intrigued.
Tell me more.
Tell me more.
Imagine this. Someone visits your pricing page, adds an item to their cart, but then abandons it.
Okay.
A behavioral trigger can automatically send them a targeted email,
Okay.
maybe with a discount code or some helpful information that encourages them to complete the purchase.
That's amazing. It's like having a personal shopper who anticipates their needs and gently nudges them in the right direction.
Exactly, and you can get really creative with these triggers.
Mm.
Maybe someone downloads a guide about email marketing.
Okay.
You can set up a trigger to send them a follow-up email a week later with an invitation to a free webinar on advanced email strategies.
So it's all about providing valuable content at the right time to keep those leads engaged and moving through the funnel. I love how HubSpot makes it so easy to personalize the entire experience.
It does. And speaking of personalization,
Yes.
let's talk about advanced lead nurturing techniques.
Okay.
I touched on drip campaigns, but let's go deeper.
I'm ready. How do we take lead nurturing beyond the basic drip campaign?
Think about your own experiences as a customer.
Okay.
What kind of content do you find most helpful? What motivates you to make a purchase?
I'm definitely more likely to buy from a company that understands my needs and provides valuable information, not just constant sales pitches.
That's it. The key is to create lead nurturing sequences that feel helpful and educational, not pushy or salesy.
Okay, so how do we do that with HubSpot?
Let's say you're a financial advisor.
Okay.
Instead of sending a generic newsletter to everyone on your list, you could create separate lead nurturing workflows
Okay.
based on specific financial goals.
Okay.
Maybe one workflow is for young professionals who are just starting to invest, and another is for families planning for retirement.
That's a great idea. Each workflow would provide highly targeted content that addresses their unique challenges and aspirations.
Exactly. And within those workflows, you can use a mix of content types.
Okay.
Think blog posts, videos, case studies,
Hmm.
even quizzes or interactive tools.
Oh, wow.
It's all about keeping things engaging and providing real value.
I'm really starting to see the potential here. But what about actually handing off those leads to my sales team?
Yeah.
How do we ensure a smooth transition from marketing to sales?
That's a crucial piece of the puzzle.
Right.
HubSpot makes it easy to define clear criteria
Okay.
for when a lead is ready for a sales conversation.
Okay.
Maybe they've visited your pricing page multiple times,
Yeah.
or downloaded a certain number of resources.
So we're not just relying on gut feeling. We have specific data points that tell us when a lead is showing strong buying signals.
Right. And once those criteria are met,
Yeah.
HubSpot can automatically notify your sales team or even create a task for them in your CRM.
This is amazing. It's like having a seamless handoff where no lead slips through the cracks.
It is.
But with all this data and automation,
Yeah.
how do we make sure we're not losing that human touch?
That's a great question, and it's something to be mindful of.
Okay.
Always remember that technology should enhance your human interactions, not replace them.
Okay, so how do we find that balance?
Think about using HubSpot to gather valuable insights about your leads
Okay.
so you can personalize your communications and have more meaningful conversations.
Okay.
For example, if you see that a lead has been reading blog posts about a specific product, you can mention that in your initial outreach email.
It's like showing them that you're paying attention and that you understand their needs.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to use HubSpot to automate those routine follow-ups and administrative tasks, so you can free up more time to focus on building genuine relationships with your leads.
That's great advice. I'm also curious about reporting.
Yeah.
We've talked about the data HubSpot provides, but how do I actually use those reports to make better decisions and improve my marketing over time?
HubSpot's reporting dashboard is a goldmine of information.
Okay.
You can customize it to track the metrics that matter most to your business.
Okay.
Maybe you want to see how your email open rates have improved over the past quarter, or which blog posts are driving the most traffic to your website.
So it's about going beyond vanity metrics like likes and shares and focusing on the numbers that really impact my bottom line.
You got it. And the beauty of HubSpot is that it allows you to segment your reports
Okay.
by specific campaigns, workflows, or even individual content pieces.
That's powerful. I can really drill down and see what's working and what needs to be tweaked.
Right. And don't forget about A/B testing.
Right.
Use it to continuously experiment with different approaches and refine your marketing strategies based on real data.
Okay, we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have?
We've gone from the basics of setting up HubSpot to advanced tactics like behavioral triggers and personalized lead nurturing. I feel like I've gained a whole new level of understanding.
I'm glad to hear that.
Bill.
But before we wrap up our deep dive,
Yeah.
I want to emphasize one final point.
Okay.
HubSpot is a powerful tool, but it's not a magic solution.
Right.
It requires effort, strategy,
Yeah.
and a willingness to constantly learn and adapt.
I hear you. So it's not just about the technology itself. It's about using that technology in a smart and strategic way to achieve our business goals.
Exactly. Think of HubSpot as a partner in your marketing journey.
Okay.
It provides the tools and insights,
Yeah.
but you're the one who brings the vision and the expertise to make it all work.
This has been an incredibly insightful deep dive into HubSpot.
I agree.
I feel much more confident about using this platform to take my marketing to the next level.
And remember, we're here to support you every step of the way.
Thanks so much for sharing your knowledge and expertise. I know our listeners are going to walk away with a ton of valuable insights. So to all of you listening, we hope you've enjoyed this deep dive into HubSpot. Remember, it's not just about automation. It's about creating meaningful connections with your audience and building a thriving business. Until next time, keep diving deep.